Hey guys, this is Matt, aka Download Some RAM. These are some Gangplank tips in a flash, let's get to it. Tip number 1. Gangplank doesn't perform very well against champions with a lot of gap closers or uncleansable CC, like Riven Array trucks for example, so be sure to be extra careful around champions like this. Tip number 2. Due to his lack of mobility and ability to snowball, Gangplank is usually a prime target for early ganks, so be sure to ward early and often. Tip number 3. When following the damage/crit plank build mentioned in the previous build path video, make sure that you play Gangplank more like a caster than a frontliner, using your ranged Q and your barrels as your damage source. And speaking of barrels, tip number 4. Never try and land single barrel attacks against an enemy, as they're almost always doomed to fail. Instead, try chaining barrels at the last minute to catch enemies off guard and secure a huge barrel hit that can single-handedly turn a teamfight. Tip number 5. When being chased by an enemy, you can turn and throw a Q at your pursuer for a move speed boost to jet away from the dangerous situation that you found yourself in. Tip number 6. Popping a barrel actually resets Gangplank's passive and can be used in melee battles to great effect if you find yourself in need of a damage boost at the last second. Tip number 7. As mentioned in the abilities video, Gangplank's barrels are not his only source of damage by any means, so always remember to be throwing Qs at enemies for a ton of damage whenever possible. Tip number 8. Gangplank is a late game monster who can stall for a very long time due to his barrels being excellent for wave clear. So if you have a Gangplank on your team, don't throw the towel in too early, because that salty sailor might just have something other than an orange up his sleeve for the late game. This concludes the Gangplank in a flash videos, so it's on to the next champion for us. Before we move on, however, I'd like to give a big thanks and a boatload of credit to the guys over at the r/Gangplank main subreddit. They offered tons of tips for this video that were absolutely brilliant, so be sure to go show them some love, and as always, thanks for watching, now get out there.